Exercise 4, Autodesk Inventor 2017. In this exercise, we're going to take a look at how to build this hand wheel that you see right here. And so we'll begin on page 37 in the book. And again, you could download this manual at vertanux1.com, vertanux1.com. There's a link on my YouTube page. All right, so let's begin. Start with the new part file. And we're going to start by clicking on Start 2D Sketch. We'll draw on the XY plane, so select that, and take the corner rectangle. It's actually 2-point rectangle. Glide up to this center, click, and drag it out like so, as so, and it's going to be 1 inch. So you could go ahead and type in 1, and you'll see it will feed into that box, and then click in this box, and this will be 3 inches in height. And now you could click on the front box over here on the right to maximize it. The next thing we're going to take a look at is the sketch chamfer. So underneath the fillet tool, there's to the right of it, there's a little arrow. Click on that, you'll find chamfer. This is different from the feature chamfer that we've seen in previous exercises where it's actually on the model. This is actually on the 2D sketch. And we want to have it set to distance at 0.125. Actually 0.25. And select these two lines at the top and the left side. And you'll see it will create that. Hit OK. And the little FX, essentially that 0.25 is dependent on this 25. So if whenever changes, let's say we change it to 0.125, they both update. Okay, moving along, I'm just going to go ahead and move this out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and draw an arc. Hit the little arrow underneath the arc buttons and find 3-point arc. Click on the edge of this model, drag up, and about 1 inch, click again on the edge, and drag out a short arc, not a big arc, just a small one here. Go ahead and type in 0.5. Okay. Actually, just click and we'll add it later. Now go to the dimension tool and dimension that arc to the bottom edge, and that's going to be 1.75. And then click on the arc again and dimension it to this left edge, and that's going to be 0.25. And finally, dimension the arc itself at 0.5. Next thing we need to do is trim out this section. So go up here to the trim tool, little pair of scissors up there, click on it, and just select this intersecting geometry. It should cut up to the next corners. Now we could go ahead and revolve this 360 degrees. So we'll go to 3D Model, Revolve. I'm going to click on the Home button up here in the upper right just to maximize the screen. And all we need to do is select, we'll hit this little arrow here. We need to select the axis. So click on Axis and just select this edge. And hit the green check mark or OK. Now let's go ahead and start a sketch. Hit the little plus symbol to the left of origins. And we want to go ahead and select the XY plane once again. And we're sketching on that. Now we could take the line tool and draw a line right in the center here and up. Have it poke out above the top of the part and hit Escape. Now select it after you hit Escape and select this tool here to change it to a center line. Now go to the line tool and get on that line and click and drag across and make a 2-inch horizontal line. Then hit Escape. Let's go to Dimension and dimension that line to the bottom edge of the model at 1.75. That way we know we're centered on that hub section there. Let's now go to the tangent arc tool And on this endpoint, click and drag to the left and up about a 1-inch arc. Okay, we could go ahead and type in one and leave it less than 90 degrees. So one, and mine's like 68 or 70, that's just fine. Hit enter. And off that one, click and drag off another arc. And you can do one of two things. You can make this 1 inch again, or you could go ahead and add a constraint. I'm going to go ahead and type in 1 inch and hit enter. Notice that I have tangency and tangency symbols located here and there. We will need one up here once we draw a line. So go to the line tool, and off of that line, drag a horizontal line across, and then hit escape. Let's just click on the tangent icon up here and force a tangent relationship between the two. And there you can see that will enable it to be very smooth. And I just hit the escape key after that. Okay, now go to the dimension tool, select this line here and the 2-inch length line and drag your dimension to the right, and that will be 1 inch. The last dimension you could go ahead and select is the center line and then this endpoint. Now it's going to go ahead and bring up a diameter, which we really don't want, but that's okay. You could switch it later. We're going to go ahead and just click to drop it, and this needs to be 8. Okay, if you didn't get a diameter, that's because this was not a dashed line. Okay, if it's not a center line, if it's just an object line, which is solid, you won't get that. In that case, it would be 4 inches. Go ahead and hit Finish Sketch. Now we're going to learn how to make a plane perpendicular to this point by offsetting. Hit the little arrow underneath plane, and you'll see parallel to plane through point. Select the endpoint where we want the plane to rest, and over here on the left, select the YZ plane to project it. Now that you have the new plane there, go ahead and select it and start the sketch tool. Create sketch. Over here, we could click on this little arrow on the left or right and rotate it until we could see the left side, and then zoom up. Now we're going to use the center point arc tool. Glide up to this point right here. When you get the dot to highlight, click, drag across, and make it 0.25. Then hit enter, and then drag an arc over the top, and we want it to be 180. And once it reaches 180, you could actually hit enter. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Here, let me try that again. So 0.25. And then drag it over the top. And we can actually type in 180 and hit enter. There we go. Okay, now if it comes out incorrect, hit escape, select it, delete it, try it again. Go to the line tool now and draw, and I'll zoom up here so we can see this a little bit better. Click on this vertex here, that arc, drag this straight down, 0.5. Drag this across until you see the little inference line and your horizontal. If you don't see the inference line, you have to look very carefully, make sure you're right below that vertex, and finally close this off right there. Let's add one more dimension and select this bottom, click to drop it, and hit the green check mark. It should be 0.5. Also, we want to make sure that this maintains a tangent relationship, so click on tangent, click on this line, or this arc in this line. Oh, hit cancel. We don't need that because of what we just did here. Never mind. Okay, now let's hit Finish Sketch, and we could see our profile there. We can now go to Sweep, select the profile, and then click over here on Path and select any line. Oh, gotta click on that again. Select any geometry when it turns red on the path that we created. Hit OK. Hide the plane by right-clicking on the edge of it, and you'll hold down that right mouse button and you'll see visibility. Release it on visibility and it will hide that plane. Now we want to pattern this. We want 3 spokes. So we're going to go to circular pattern. The features we want to pattern are the spoke, and actually I forgot, I want to add some fillets. I'm going to hit cancel there. First go to the fillet tool, and the first radii are going to be 0.188, and select this edge here And if you want to rotate to the underside so you can see it better, select this edge right here. Hit apply. Now set this to 0.25 and just select this top edge. You don't want the bottom edge. Hit OK. Now we could go back and try our circular pattern. Click on circular. Select this side face of the spoke. Select one of the fillets, the 0.188 fillets on right below here, and then select this 0.25 fillet right here. You could also select them from the browser. And once you have those selected, go to the rotation axis button and click on it. Select the cylinder at the bottom for the rotation axis. Set the placement underneath here to 3 instances at 360 degrees and hit OK. Now select the XY plane and start a sketch. Take the circle tool, align it to the midpoint of this edge on the left, drag out a circle and set it to 1 inch. Take the line tool and draw a line at the origin and have it appear above like so. Hit escape. Go to 3D model and revolve. Make sure you select the profile and then click on axis and select that line that you just drew and hit OK. Fillet with a 0.25 radius the additional 3 edges. And apply. Move it around to the base and we're going to take a look at the hole tool. Click on hole, select counterbore, leave the default settings here with the exception of the termination set to a distance, and the distance will be 1.5. On the left here you'll see there's linear from sketch, concentric, or on point. We want concentric. Go ahead and select this face. And now over on the left, select concentric reference, the button, and select this cylinder. It then will center it, and you can hit OK or apply. And now we have our countersink, or counterbore in that case. And that completes exercise 4. Now the lab is much more complex. And if you're looking at the manual, what we're going to do here is create this plastic part, which is was intended to be a Bluetooth headset, which was scaled up to size just to keep the dimensions at a easy option. Okay, so as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and model this. There's several features to do on that one. I'm going to go to New, Standard Eye Part, Create. This is not all that dissimilar from some of the other models we've made. So we're going to go ahead and click on 2D Sketch, select the XY plane, draw a line at the origin, approximately 1 inch in height, then hit Escape. Go to the select the line after you hit Escape and go to the center line to convert it. Now take the line tool and down below here, just on the left hand side away from the center just a little bit, click and drag an angled line. Don't dimension it. Click again and drag a more dramatically angled line, a short one. Click. Hit Escape. Now go to Mirror and select these two entities here. Select the mirror line button and then select the center line. Hit Apply and Done. Go to Tangent Arc. Select this bottom corner to this vertex. Then change it to 3-point arc. Click on this vertex and go clear across to the next vertex and drag this out. Go to Dimension. Dimension these two angles here at 25 degrees, and then these two at 118, and let me verify that because I might be wrong. Actually 115 and 23. And I'm just double clicking on these to change those. Okay, then go make sure you're still in the fillet tool, select this arc, and that's going to be 0.75, and then select the top arc, which will be 1.5, and select the bottom arc to the top arc to add the next dimension, and that's going to be 1.25, and then zoom up a little closer, select the bottom arc to this corner and drag that out. That's going to be 0.25. Actually, that's going to be 1, sorry. Double click on it, type in 1. Hit escape, grab this center point, drag it down, and drag it back up to the origin and have it snap when you see the green dot. Now we could go to 3D Model, Extrude, and let me move this out of the way here. The thickness needs to be 1/2 inch with 25 degrees of draft. So let's put in 0.5 and then go to more, and there's going to be minus 25 degrees of draft. Hit OK. Now go to fillet, and the fillet that we need, the first one is 0.5, and select that edge and hit apply. Now use the chamfer tool. The chamfer is called out in gray here, 30 degrees at 0.181. So here we want distance to angle 30 degrees, 0.181. Select the top base and then the edge. Hit the green check mark to apply. Now we're ready to shell it. Rotate it around the back. Go to the shell command. And we're going to set the thickness to 0.06. Make sure the decimal place takes in that. So 0.06. Double check to make sure the decimal shows. Then click on this face on the back and hit OK. Select this bottom face and start a sketch, and we'll put in the posts. The internals indicate that centered on this we have 2 circles, 1.5 and 1.6. That means one is 0.5 and the other one is 0.6. Extrude those, 3D model. Select the profile, and it's going to be 1.13, and let me verify that on the print, 0.13, and apply. Select this face here and start a sketch, and zoom out, and let's go ahead and we want to center this, so we're going to take a center 2-point center rectangle and just get it on this bottom edge, drag it out. The width will be 0.05, and the length doesn't really matter so long as it goes beyond the boundaries of the circle. Now we could go to 3D Model, Extrude, and we want to remove material 0.1. So I selected cut there. Now select this face again and start a sketch. Take the circle tool and draw a circle across here. Let's take a look at the dimension needed is 0.175. And then it's dimensioned aligned to this circle, 0.125, and dimension again vertically, 0.75. And now we'll go ahead and we'll take a line and we'll draw a mirror line. Hit escape, select that center line. Unfortunately, I'll have to move this out of the way. Select that line and turn to a center line. Now we could go ahead and mirror. Select the mirror tool, select the circle, click on mirror line, select the center line, and hit apply. Add one more circle down below, and then go to equal up here to add an equal relationship between one of the circles up top to that circle, so they're all the same size. And now we can extrude that. 3D model, extrude, select the three entities, and we need to specify the height at 0.375. Now select those faces, or one of those faces, start a sketch. And draw circles in between each one of 0.1. And you have to give it a minute to wake up the center. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm not going to dimension these individually, as I'm going to get them close to them, to size, and then I'm going to go to equal and assign equal value, so I don't, if a change ever comes down, I could actually just go ahead and make a change to one of them versus all of them. Now I'm going to go to 3D model, extrude, and select those interior holes, and those need to be cut 0.1 deep, and select cut and make sure it's pointing down, so I'm going to have to hit direction 2. Hit OK. Alright, we'll take a look at the front now. Select the front face, start a sketch. I'm going to use the counterclockwise rotation up here. Again, I'm going to draw a line centered, and then I'm going to select it and convert it to a center line. I'm going to take the regular line tool and up here draw a little angled line, and then go to mirror, select that little angled line, and then go to mirror line and select the center line. And hit apply and done. Use the tangent arc tool to close those off. Go to dimension. The bottom arc is 0.1, the top arc is 0.2, and the distance between the two is 0.5. And now we have to get this up here, and the dimension for that is specified in the bolt circle, which is 0.7. So go to the dimension tool, select this arc to this arc, and that will be 0.7. Now we'll just cut that. 3D model, extrude, select the profile, make sure it's set to cut and all. Now we could select that feature and go to circular and click on rotation axis. Let's try that again. Select this face and we'll see the pattern. We actually want 3 instances at 24 degrees. Oh, in this case actually we need to double that, so 48. And let's see actually if we could divide that up. Set it to 5 and 96 degrees. Hit OK. Okay, now we could go ahead and select this face and start another sketch. Now we create that boss. Locate the center, let it wake up. Just have to There we go. Click on that. And this is going to be, let's see, 0.835. Go ahead and extrude that 30 thousandths in height, so 0.03. Select that face and start another sketch, and let's make a cutout center rectangle on this coordinate, or the center here, and this quadrant I should say, and then this needs to be a height of, or width of 0.05, and then this needs to be 0.1. Hit escape, select the centers. Actually, I go to vertical and make these aligned. Should have actually done that on the other side too with the other one that I made on the inside of the part, but that's okay. I'm going to go to 3D Model Extrude, select the profile, select remove material and all. Now go to fillet and put in a 0.1 fillet right on this edge here. Apply, and then put a 0.03 fillet or radius on this edge, and OK. Now we need to copy this. So we have, we're going to put 15 of those in. So we're going to go to circular. The features are the cutout and the fillet. Click on the rotation axis and select this edge, or actually you might have to select this outer face here and put in 16 and hit OK. Now I don't have any dimensions for the logo, just select that face, start a sketch, and you could draw anything in there that you want. I actually just went ahead and drew like a, let's wake up that center, draw this out approximately 0.45, and then offset here around here, about a, make a, it's like the earth and the moon in front of it, about 0.15. And now just go to 3D Model, Extrude, select the profile, cut 0.01. And that completes exercise 4 and lab 4.